Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
Yesterday, this early morning when I woke up, I had a very funny experience which I'll share with you. Now, I'll tell you my sleep patterns, okay? I went to sleep at around, I think, 9, woke up at 2 o'clock, 9 in the night, woke up at 2 in the morning, did some work, went to sleep at 6, then got up at, 9 or 10. So it has been weird timings. I don't know. My body is out of whack. And whenever I do get up, I always take my coffee and, do some bit of work online, stuff that I love. So I don't consider it work. I love what I do. In fact, I love it so much. Instead of playing a video game, I'm actually doing more of my work, which is funny, even though I know video games is fun and relaxing, shooting people and all that stuff. Okay, so when I wake up, always my tendency is I lie down and I look up and I don't just get up. I just lay on my bed, I look up, okay? I guess because I don't keep an alarm clock and I can get up whenever I like. So I wake up, I look up, I just lie down there. I kind of get the feelings of the environment and then I rise. And just to let you know, before I used to be a heavy sleeper, very heavy. Now it is like when I go to sleep, if my baby makes noise or the dog is barking, or I wake up and then my sleep is ruined. So I put my earphones and I listen to this app. It's called Calm, where you have static noise like waves or the wind or some soft instrument. So it kind of puts some noise in my ears, and that just, that noise just kind of vanishes in the background and I go off to sleep. Because otherwise, if it is very quiet and I hear some noise, then I definitely wake up. So when noise is already in my ears and someone else makes noise, it drowns the noise away. Anyway, coming back to the part. So when I wake up, just lying on my bed, and this happened this morning or night or whatever. I started to feel slight pain in my knee. Okay, it was my left knee, and slight pain on my, the hip socket. I'm just feeling little pain. It's a joint pain kind of. And then as I was feeling my fingers, I could feel again left side. My fingers were slightly paining. Maybe because the room was cold or something. So the first thing that struck my mind was, when all this was paining, is like, sheesh, maybe it's arthritis. And, it's not that I'm being negative, or it's not that I'm being, just having this fear. I know people who have got arthritis due to wear and tear of joints. And me being an ex-bodybuilder, powerlifter, it's very common. So I was like, when the thought came in my head, okay, I might be moving towards getting arthritis. The next thing came, okay, need to be careful with what I eat, need to be careful with what I drink, exercise properly, keep myself healthy. And then my thoughts, my mind works very fast. At least now, I don't know about future. So then I was thinking, okay, what if I do get arthritis? What if my health does deteriorate? What am I going to do? So those questions were just, bombarding my head. And then I got up, I sat down and started my work. Now, the reason why I'm sharing these thoughts with you is this is not something that you'll think about when you're young. When you're in your 20s and when you're full of testosterone and youthfulness, you just want to be crazy. Like in my 20s, what? I don't give a fuck, man. In my 20s, I would literally, in my 20s, I wanted to be big. I would see Arnold and I would see all these bodybuilders, big guys, and I would want, big muscles, big, chiseled abs. I'd want to look sexy. I used to actually go to the gym and lift heavy weights because I wanted to be big. Being big was, like being powerful, being an alpha male. And, I also took steroids to make sure that I would pack on more muscle, more thickness, more strength. So I was lifting like crazy weights, man, for squats, legs, sitting and standing, 225 kilos. The weight is so bad, so heavy, your intestines can explode in your stomach. It's that much. You can get hernia. I used to leg press 310 kilos. I used to deadlift 185. Crazy. You'd strike yourself, hit yourself, and shout, and you lift the weight, and you go. And veins would be popping out from the neck, and eyes would be bloodshot. And I would eat like 3 or 4 chickens, 3 or 4 full chickens. Go to KFC and all you can eat. The manager used to tell me, please don't come, because a guy who's eating 60 chicken legs is a loss for the company. So it was eating more was the competition, lifting more, doing more than thinking which girl am I going to impress, putting perfume, buying overpriced perfume, overpriced stuff, always feeling, oh, my chest is big, the shirt is tight, I'll go and flex my bicep and my tricep, and the girl will feel my muscles so hard. Just wanted to feel powerful. And then obviously the sex. You tell the girl, then you'd have your erotic conversations. This is the adult part, so better censor it in case you have kids or you're listening in the office. Talk about sex. Say, I want to lick you there, I want to put my tongue there, and she would, you both would end with sexual stuff, which now when you think of it, it's like, what the fuck was I thinking? It's like, I want you to drink my cum, I want you to swallow it, I will come inside you, and I'll come inside you really deep, and what? I want you to fuck me for the whole night. Better say it slowly, others people will. So I want you to sit on my face and you do all these things, discuss all these things, send erotic pictures, have sex when you're watching porn and having sex, and you want to try, okay, put your strawberry inside your vagina and lick, and you think all that is sexy, okay, when you're young. By the way, don't do that. It's not sexy at all. But when you get older now, all this is, you just look at all this and think about all this and what the fuck, yeah. Today it's like when I'm with it's my 4th wife. Not that I'm a Muslim, but it didn't work out. So now with this wife, it's normal. It's like when I want to have sex, I just tell her, listen, can we have sex? And she'll say yes, because she's young and she knows if I'm not kept happy, well, men get distracted. So it's okay, you want to have sex? Yes. Then we wait until the baby goes to sleep. And once the baby sleeps, we tiptoe. I go shower. She goes, freshens up, come, have sex, a few minutes, and get back to work. Maybe we lie in the bed and just talk about life. That's it. And I prefer to have sex fast because there's so many other things to do, man. It's like, what do you want to do being in that zone for long? It's not that 30 seconds and I'm out. No. It'll be a decent, kind of slightly romantic, a little bit of pillow talk and all that stuff. But don't expect me to tell you what I tell my wife. So, this is how life goes, man. And then you have, you get up and you don't think about muscles, you don't think about impressing women. The only focus you have once you reach the stage of being married and, like they say, settle down is how much money do I have? How much money am I supposed to make? It's not even career and legacy and this and that. You just think about your bills. You think about what you need to do to take care of the family, give them the best life. It's all you think about. So, I mean, even the way I interact with people. When I was young, hot-blooded guy, man. Because of the testosterone and bodybuilding. Wanted to get into arguments and debates. And I remember once driving, from the Dubai Sharjah road. After that comes the airport. If you stay in Dubai, let's say you're traveling from Sharjah towards Dubai, on the left-hand side is the airport, which is a sealed-off place. So it's a long strip, that road. I don't know what you call that road, after the underpass. Okay. So I was coming back from Dubai towards Sharjah, with the right side being the airport, that covered area. You can't take photographs or videos. And as usual, that area is always jam-packed because the roads from Dera, the roads from Garud, the roads from everywhere, they all converge and come to that single strip. So it was traffic from Dubai towards Sharjah, which is always packed, especially the peak hours. So I was sitting in my four-wheel, Lexus RX, not Lexus, I think it was another car. I was sitting in my car when, there's that yellow line where if your car breaks down, you just go to the side and you park it there. You're not supposed to drive that area. But there are motorists who like to overtake illegally. So I was in my lane, which was near the yellow line. This guy from the side is an Arab local, and he has come on the yellow side and he wants to come into my lane. Now obviously he is at fault. He is at fault and he wants to come into my lane. So he tries to put the indicator, but I don't let him come. So he tries to come a little forward, I don't let him come. So then I think obviously he got irritated. He kind of horned and he's like, wait. So I told him, bugger off, And then what ensued was obviously him and me, mouthing off each other. And I told him, yeah, come, show me, come in that lane, So he put his Arab, thing proper, and he tried to, as the traffic started to move, he started to race, and his game plan was he must and he will come into my lane, means in front of my car. Unfortunately for him, a cop car was waiting and they stopped him and I went off. There have been other incidents also like this where I literally lost my cool, road rage, with people driving next to me. And that is where I think where my road rage ended was once when I was driving my Lexus. It was a company car, four-wheel drive, all options. And there was this car in front of me, parked right in the middle of the fucking road. I mean, you're talking of a normal road, there's two carpets, two lanes. So, there are shops at the side. So this guy had parked. Not that there was any tea shop or anything. He was chatting with his friend. His car was parked. He's outside. It's in Sharjah. And, it's very common. Sharjah, Al Quain, these places. So he's talking as if, and it's not allowed. He's not parked his car at the side. So I was behind him and I honked. And he didn't bother. I honked again and, was pissed off. So he was like, wait. So I got pissed off. I honked even more. And people, obviously don't like to be honked. So I honked very well. He's like, what? Obviously you're saying what? So I flipped my finger, birdie, which is not allowed now. Those days it was not a rule. Flipped the birdie. And he was like, oh, there's a... So by the time I got pissed off, I just got out of the lane. I drove off. I told him, bugger off, like fuck off or something. I must have told him. And I moved on. As I drove off. This is in Sharjah. At some point, he managed to, I don't know from where he came. He overtook me, parked right in front of me, and got out of the car. Obviously local, he put his Kandura thing, whatever. He walked towards my car and he said, hey, shoe and this and that. Then first thing he asked me, you what, India? Like he asked me, am I Indian? So I asked him, you local? So he said, I local, he shouted. So I told him, I'm international. Like an idiot. He was driving a smaller car, so he was obviously pissed off. Then he went to his number plate and started hammering, I'm local. Shoo. He went on in Arabic, shouting, local. And I just told him, I'm international, don't worry. I laughed. He got so pissed off. I don't know how. To this day, I don't know how. He managed to find out my phone number, and I had gone to office by then. He called up the office and I was called to the police station. I was called to the police station and there in Sharjah, the police was a Somali. Okay. I was shit scared, I'll tell you. That was my first time in the police station. And then he said, you Loy? I said, yes. They don't say Loy, they say Loy. Loy. Beto, sit down. In Hindi it's Beto, but Arabs say Beto. Okay. I sat down. And next, a guy dressed in full kandura, crisp, white, white dress. And he went to the inspector, Shoo and Faddal. And, for him it was a nice welcome. For me it was Beto. He went to sit down and then he had his, not one mobile phone, he had 3 mobile phones, obviously to show success and whatever. And then he says, Shoo, and what happened? Leish, this, that, whatever. And then the Somali guy, Sudanese or whatever, he looked at me, so kya problem? I told him, no, there's no problem. Just he parked in the middle of the road and this and that. He didn't give a damn anyway. So he says, you from where? I said, India. I'm telling you, right on my face, he told me, India? Wala kachara. Seriously. He actually told this, India kachara. Tum India se idhar, ye local. Tum kya? India? Passport nikalo. So he took my passport, he took my ID. Tum khalas. Tumko idhar se, yalla barra. Okay? And then I was like, sorry, sir. I became like a chicken. I kept saying, sorry here and there. I told them, see, I'm sorry. I didn't mean this and that. Then that Sudanese guy told him, he must have asked him, so what do you do? He said, Marif. I don't know, Marif. Like this and that. So I said, okay, I will take care. So he went away. I told him, sorry. But for me, he told me, tumko jail. And please, sir. He put me in jail. Put me inside. It was a small cell, But in that cell, as I went in, I saw all these guys with the lungi, kind of sarong, maybe Bangladeshis, maybe, I don't know who all. But sleeping on the floor, there was an open toilet one side. The other side, this one guy, Bangladeshi, kind of mutawa, was reading the Quran. And I was just sitting, and mind you, I was wearing a full suit and tie. Didn't have any tattoos, nothing those days. Suit and tie. So I was sitting there, What the fuck will I do? What have I done? I'm finished. I thought I was really done. He kept me there for 2 hours. Then finally I get called. It's a proper cell. There is, when you enter, there is one door. You enter, there's a second door where a guy is reading a newspaper. Then there is the third, where there's a guy reading a newspaper there. The guy has a Quran and all this stuff is happening. Okay. It's like the typical prison cell, So the guy called me and then he says, "To, tumko gussa aata hai?" Huh? I said, no, sorry. He told me, "If you do again, tum khalas. Ye local, tum India, kachara." Okay? I said, "Yes, sir, I'm kachara." Yes. Everything I said, yes. I was, man, in my 30s, man. Fuck, it was a scary experience because it was my first time. So then he told me go. And ever since, I never had road rage after that because it reminded me that this was not my country. So the point I'm trying to make here for you is, as you become older, you realize that you think far ahead. You think what impact your actions would have. You don't just react. Like when I drive, not that I don't get pissed off sometimes, but then I think, is it worth being angry? Is it worth risking the life of having the baby and the wife seated there? In fact, even if it's interacting with the girls, it's not that girls don't make passes at me. There are girls who make passes at me. There are girls who, even here in Thailand, there are girls who smile at me. There are girls who have slipped their phone number. It's normal. There are girls who tell me, women, not girls, like, if we can go exercise together, as a harmless statement, we'll just exercise together. I know, it's not, you're not fucking dumb. You're not a kid. You know where it's headed. Then there are girls who say, let's meet up for coffee. There have been 2 or 3 incidents where girls have actually flown down here for a holiday and said, we can just meet up, just say hi, and you know where it's headed. It's just a casual sex, just one night thing, and bye-bye. Had I been young, I'm pretty sure I would have absolutely gone ahead. Even now, if I was, having business trips going around the world alone, I wouldn't mind. I would think, okay, fine, just a shag, me and her. It's like mutual masturbation, as they call it. Okay, we did our thing, nobody knows, and go our own separate ways. I would have done it. I'm not trying to portray that I'm a saint. And my wife knows that. She knows, and I've told her. She's very, she's obvious to that fact. That if I were to be alone, I wouldn't mind having sex with a girl. So that is the reason she follows me everywhere, which I don't mind. And I keep everything transparent with her, So the reason why I don't have sex, or the reason why I don't cheat on my wife, as in physically, okay? Chatting, I might chat with hundreds of girls, okay? They talk sex, some of them send their nude pictures, some of them like to be naked on camera. Okay, you see that, you enjoy it, fine. You don't actually get into the relationship. And see, the thing is, I might talk about this openly. 99% of the men and women will not talk about it because they are interlaced into the fabric of society. I know so many spiritual, religious, conservative, honest people who show that they are goody two shoes in society, what they do. In fact, why do you think some people say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? Or what happens in Thailand stays in Thailand? The men who come here for their adventures, you think all of them are single? You think all of them don't have families? You think women are all saints? See, everyone does it, nobody talks about it. It's like, it's something that nobody talks about. But in my case, because I don't want to be in society, I don't want to be interwoven, I don't have this career path which is corporate. Imagine a corporate head or a head of a company saying, I have sex with other women, or I've tried having sex with just an 18-year-old or 16-year-old. He would be destroyed in seconds. But for me, who gives a fuck? So in a way, it's easier for me to talk about this because nobody fucking cares anyway. My family, I'm not close to them. Corporate world, I'm not involved in it anyway. Nobody is associated with me. I can talk about this. So the point that I'm telling you is majority do it. Okay, we are all human beings. We all have feelings, temptations, urges. Majority do it. How many admit? I would honestly say that it's only 5% or maybe even less than that, because this is not acceptable, and yes, in many cases it's not right also. So the point being is, it's not that I cannot cheat on my wife. I can is an ability. The question is, do I want to? And there, when I weigh the pros and cons, you realize it's fucking worth it, man. I have done it. I've done it till the age of 36, 37. And it's been a wild ride. But now, it's like, forget it. Because whenever I think of my wife and baby, I see two girls, two women, and you don't want to break their heart. So you realize it's not worth it. So the overall gist that I want to share with you through this video is, as you become older, a lot of things changes. Lots of things change. Your health, you start thinking about it more. Like, why do I run? I would have never thought of stretching. I do stretching exercises. When you're young, when you're in your 20s, you think of muscles. You don't think of stretching. You don't think of yoga. When I was young, I wanted to be big, huge, heavy, thick muscles. Now when I'm older, I want to be thin as possible, so I don't have to carry a lot of weight on my joints. I watch what I eat. When I was younger, just eat hog, anything. Younger days. And when I'm older, it's more like I think of savings. When I was younger, I used to think of, spend. Today, it's no longer about showing off, because showing off does what? It's more about sustainability. It's more about being prepared for the future, So, yeah, these are some of the things that you think as you grow older. Level of maturity and the level of, responsibility increases, priorities change. And you change as a human being. So, yeah, guys, let me know, what do you think? Do you have such thoughts? Have you been changing with times? Are you still the same, or do you feel you also change? Or do you know anybody who has changed? So put your thoughts down below. Let me know what relates to you. And always read it and hopefully respond. You guys take care.